Hi everyone, welcome to my first ever YouTube video, and today I will be sharing some tips and tricks that helped me get into a headstand or Sirsasana as they call it in Sanskrit. It took me around a year to get into headstands and completely balance myself off the wall. Of that, it took me around 6 months just to be able to kick up into a headstand and get comfortable with the idea of my hips over my head. That I think was the most difficult part for me. The first and foremost thing that you really need before you try any headstand or inversion is to build a lot of core strength, a lot of upper body strength. But when I started off with my yoga journey and with my journey of getting into inversions, I had zero strength. So the 6 months I took to get into an inverted position included all the strength building. So everything that you see online about getting into a headstand and 1 week, 5 minutes, 1 day, it all requires core strength. I have trained someone to get into a headstand in 10 minutes, but she used to gym and she had very, very strong core strength. She could do 10 pull-ups easily. So if you're at that phase, it could be easy. If you were like me and you had no strength, no core energy, no core muscles, no arm muscles, it will take a while. But be patient, keep practicing the exercises, keep practicing the inversion, and I promise it will be worth it. Some quick basics about arm placements in a headstand. Grab your opposite elbows with your hands, and that's how far your arms should be. Not too wide and not too narrow. From here, interlace the fingers of your hands and then place the crown of your head, the very top of your head, right between your interlaced fingers. So if you have two walls or two doors that are reasonably close to each other, sit like this in between them. For the best alignment, sit with your legs outstretched and your toes touching the front wall. Note the point on the floor where your hips are, and then place your hands and head at that point and go into a headstand. Not your elbows, your palms will be at the point where your hips were. This way, when you go up, your hips will be directly above your head and you will not have lower back pain. You can also stay at this position with your legs parallel to the floor, or gradually walk your legs up and try to kick into the back wall. You will note here that my posture is not to put a lot of weight on my lower back. So for beginners, you can bend your knees and strengthen your core and take the weight off your lower back. Notice the difference. From here, you can straight one leg, the other leg, or try to get off the back wall and balance. If you fall on either side, you have the wall to support you, so you will not hurt yourself. You can also scissor your legs like this to get more confidence in balancing yourself. You can also use a small table or some blocks to kick up into a headstand. The additional height from the blocks or the table makes it easier to kick up. Another way to get into a headstand is to take help of a friend. Ask your friend to hold one of your legs and push down with a lot of energy into your friend's hand with that leg, the other leg will automatically come up. And there you get into the headstand. When taking help of a friend, make sure your friend is standing close enough to you. Because if they are far from you, your hip will not be able to go above your head and you will never be able to balance yourself. See what happens here. The way to protect your neck and the correct posture in a headstand is to really push your hands down into the floor and square your shoulders. So your shoulder blades move away from each other. I'll show you how. Notice my shoulders here and see how the muscular energy changes when I push my hands into the ground like this. This helps me protect my neck. I'm playing with my shoulders so you can see the difference each time I push it into the ground. And once that foundation is strong, I can go up into a headstand without dumping a lot of my body weight into my neck. View from the back. Here you can see that when I bring my shoulders close to each other, my arms are not strong and there's too much weight being dumped on my neck. On the contrary, when arms are strong, shoulders are away from each other, you can see that there is less weight on the neck. I'm playing with moving my shoulders here so you can see the difference. My favorite prop to learn how to fall over is the blanket. The blanket takes away a lot of the pain that would otherwise happen if you fall directly on the hard ground. When using a blanket, be really careful that the blanket is right next to your head, because when you fall over and your leg falls on the blanket, your leg could slip. The blanket could go forward and you could again fall on your back and it could hurt. But when the blanket is right next to your head, your back lands on the blanket and it doesn't hurt. The wall behind me is slightly diagonal, so it's hard for me to show, but basically get your hips next to your wall, and where your feet, where your toes land, that is where your head should be. Again, this is just for alignment issues, and I use the back wall to climb up into a headstand and slowly take both my feet off the wall. This way, if I fall, my back will land on the blanket and I will not hurt myself. For beginners, there are two ways to get into a headstand. One is to kick up like this. It's not my favorite because sometimes the momentum can make you kick up further than you expect and you can topple over. Instead, a much safer way for beginners is to come up like this and get your knees close to your chest. Bend one knee, then the other, and very slowly come up into a headstand. You can even pause at this position because from here, if you fall, you will only fall forward and not back. And then as you get confident, slowly straighten your legs to come up into a headstand. It's slower, it's more in control, and it's a much safer way. When I was getting over my fear of falling and learning how to balance, one of the things that really helped me was a tip that a yoga teacher gave me, which was to keep your feet wide open when you're in any inversion, be it headstand, handstand, forearm stand, etc. Wider feet obviously helps with the balance, but also when your feet are wide, your toes are closer to the ground. So if you fall, it doesn't hurt that bad. Here I'm going to try to get into a headstand with wide legs and show you how that protects the back when you fall over. So I'm opening my feet wide and you can see that my back leg is closer to the floor. I'm falling into a bridge so my feet land before my back and it doesn't hurt. The other thing that helped me immensely was the technique of tucking your chin and rolling out of an inversion. How that works is when you're in any inversion, you have to protect your back. If you fall into your back, it really hurts, especially if you're in a vertical position and you go tha to the ground, it hurts. The way out of it is to tuck the chin and round the back. When you round the back, the impact is way less and it doesn't really hurt. The best way to do that is to practice somersaults, and I'll show you how to do that. Just get into an inversion and try to tuck your chin and roll out. So notice how in the somersault my back is so rounded that I just simply roll out. I hope these tips and tricks help you get into a headstand, and I hope you could learn from some of my experiences. Thank you for watching this video, and if you do like it, like, subscribe and share. Thank you.